Let's talk about the ins and outs for 2026 for the Mystic Empath, especially the Mystic Empath in midlife. My name is Elizabeth Cermak. I'm a psychotherapist turned coach here to talk about helping sensitive people find inner peace. And today we're going to be talking about the Mystic Empath's nervous system, basically. This year I'm going to be talking more about the Mystic Empath. And remember, a mystic is somebody who seeks a direct experience with the divine, somebody who doesn't need institutions or community or something to do that. It just seeks a direct experience with the divine. An empath is somebody who has a highly sensitive nervous system. All empaths are highly sensitive, are highly sensitive people, but not all highly sensitive people are empaths. So an empath is somebody who has a highly sensitive nervous system who also absorbs the energy and the feelings of those around them. If you need more, like Judith Orloff has a lot of good books on empaths, a lot of good quizzes and things like that. But if you hear those words and you feel like at home, then the chances are this is you. And we're going to be talking about the Mystic Empath, mostly in midlife. I'm 48 years old. I am in midlife, so it tends to I tend to talk about things that are applicable to this time. Okay, so what's the ins and outs? I love these ins and outs for 2026, so I decided to create my own, the Mystic Empath ins and outs for 2026, especially the Mystic Empath in midlife. Let's get started. I had 7 and it was really bothering me, so I got to 8. I needed an even number, so we have 8. I'm okay now. We have 8. Okay. So the first thing that is in and out for the Mystic Empath for 2026, out, productivity, out. In is nervous system regulation. Okay, so I'm looking at I have it written down so I remember. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so I'm not anti-productivity, but I am pro-nervous system. So as a Mystic Empath, we are built differently. We have a nervous system that is different from other people. It's like, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later too. It's not something, a Mystic Empath is not something you strive to be. It's something that you realize you are. It's like a map. It's like a direction, right? So we are productive from a regulated nervous system. So the first thing we need, what's in for us, is a regulated nervous system, and productivity will naturally come from this place. So we're going to talk about how to regulate your nervous system in this video and in other videos. And a lot of these 8 categories that I have build on each other. So chances are, like, for instance, one of the things that helps regulate your nervous system, I talk about this in another video, is that you've done enough today. So knowing when you have done enough, when you have too many tabs open, have you ever felt like you have you're doing, as a highly sensitive person, when you have all these like tabs open, meaning you're doing like 3 million things at once, it's not good for our nervous system. So close the tabs. You've done enough. Name what you've done today. It's probably more than you realize. Okay, so you've done enough, and knowing that as highly sensitive people, we need regulation first, productivity seconds. Okay, so number 2, what is out? What is out is constant connection. Constant connection is out. In is containment. So I realized in my last video, I talk about how, I'm going to talk about boundaries more. Well, I have talked about boundaries throughout 2026 or 2025, whatever year it is. I have talked about boundaries, but what I think I did not talk about was containment. I mean, I don't think I used that word. I talked about it in certain ways, but containment, it overlaps with boundaries, but it's a little bit different than boundaries. As highly sensitive people, as Mystic Empaths, we need containment. Containment helps to regulate our nervous system. Containment helps us to put up boundaries without drama. It helps us to realize what boundaries are just normal, like not a big deal, like what boundaries we should have. So what is containment? Containment is, when I worked in an office when I was in my 20s, I worked for a insurance company in a like fluorescent lighting office, like a 9-to-5 job. And I thought I was so weird. I mean, I thought I was weird my whole life, right? Because I just did it. There was something off, like something was different from others. I just knew this, not in it didn't feel like in a proud way or anything like that. It felt like kind of like in a shameful way, like something is wrong with me. Why would I would go into the bathroom stall, so picture you're in the bathroom stall, you got the 4 walls around you, well, the wall back here and the doors over here. And I would feel contained. I would feel so safe. I would go into the bathroom multiple times a day and just like I would feel safe in there. And like, it was like my anxiety could calm down in there. I could feel regulated in the bathroom stall. And there was something about that containment. I think it's like, it's our energy, our energy goes all over. It's too much. We need it contained, and then we need to give from an overflowing place, right? So as mystic empaths, we need containment. Containment is what will lead to nervous system regulation. So there's a lot of ways to talk about containment. Containment is like, it's soothing. It's like having a rhythm into your day or in your life. And let's talk about a couple of the things. Okay, so containment, for instance, constant connection, like the internet, has brought us wonderful things, right? But it has not brought us containment. So even like energetically, or what would you call it, technologically, we could be uncontained, like constantly getting text messages or reaching out to people. This constant connection that we have in this world. Turning your phone off is heaven for a mystic empath. I've been doing like slow, especially Sunday mornings, where I listen to this like Nordic living, like slow living, slow mornings videos. And it's like, I'm still listening. I have my phone on during that time because I'm on YouTube listening to those videos. But I'm telling you, there's something about it. If I'm only doing that, there's something about that containment. I always felt like I was able to manifest too from a place of containment. I think of the time that Paul McCartney said, "I like your dress." When I had a sign that said, "Do you like my dress? It's new." I had a new symbol on my dress. His album was called New. "Do you like my dress? It's new." When I got ready that day, I turned off my phone. I just focused on getting ready. And I feel like my energy was completely contained. And that is what helped it to get to Paul McCartney. Now, getting ready, I don't talk about this much in the ins and outs, but getting ready, and I do have a Substack video or Substack article about this that I'll put below, but getting ready is like beauty treatments, things like that, massages, body work, makeup, hair, things like that. For a mystic empath, it's not about, I had a boyfriend who thought I was like into myself or something. It's not about being conceited or arrogant. It's about embodiment, feeling like I'm in my body. I'm here. My name's Elizabeth Cermak. I'm 48 years old. I'm a 48-year-old woman who's married to Craig Cermak. That is like, really, I am here. I am in my body. So those types of treatments, those types of things that we do them to feel embodied and contained. So if you're getting ready, so before, the difference in that moment in my life, the difference would have been, I would have been getting ready and looking at my phone. Like, did I get text messages? Does somebody need me? Do I need to answer something? And I decided to turn off my phone, take a shower, and get ready and experience this feeling of containment. And it was glorious. So yes, turning off your phone will help you feel contained. Other ways of feeling contained, like I like knowing containment is like having edges, right? I like knowing when the party is going to be over. Like, when can I go home? Not that I don't enjoy the party, but like, I need to know when things are over. I need to know when it's ending. I like to go home. I like when it's time, like even in this, I think about this when I was a kid. I liked when it became nighttime in the summertime and it was time to go home. There's something soothing about knowing when it's over, having edges. So it's like energetic containment, but also like physical containment. This is why like warm showers, I love hot showers, warm showers, baths, weighted blankets work for us. Having a dog on our lap. It's like all these things help to containment, right? Containment. Okay, so containment is in, constant connection is out. Okay. Space heater loves. Okay, the next one is kind of built on that one. Out, constant availability, in, boundaries. So boundaries are the things that we say no to, right? And when we are not contained, when our nervous system is dysregulated, we're going to say yes to things that we mean to say no to. So what is out is constant availability. Do you feel like you have to be available all the time? Is there somebody in your life who feels like your time kind of belongs to them? Well, it doesn't. So constant availability is out. This goes along with containment, but boundaries are in. Boundaries are different from containment because what boundaries do, boundaries are things that you say no to. And we can have boundaries with love, and we can have boundaries without drama. I mean, this was a lot of my problem, I think, last year. I would talk about boundaries a lot, but I would do it from a place where I would feel a lot of guilt. There was a video where I talked about how yesterday's boundaries caused today's guilt. So I did it where like boundaries were causing guilt for me. So I was having like, it was almost like if we are not contained, if our nervous system is dysregulated, saying no to something, saying yes to something will be almost less dysregulating than saying no. Does that make sense? So guilt is only appropriate when you've done something wrong, when you've actually done something wrong. If you're experiencing chronic guilt, which is a symptom of like a dysregulated nervous system, it's something that mystic empaths struggle with. Highly sensitive people struggle with this. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's from a dysregulated nervous system. And a lot of times when highly sensitive people, empaths, say no, and a lot of times when they feel guilt, it actually means you're doing the right thing. It's counterintuitive. I had a client one time who I was working with her. She was working on boundaries. She was in midlife. And she said she realized that every time she felt guilt, she put up a boundary. And that's so counterintuitive because you feel like if you feel like the guilt means you should do something, right? No, the guilt actually means for us, just to make it a little more complicated, the guilt actually means a boundary is needed. Boundaries are the best. Boundaries are heaven. Boundaries are essential. I have clients that have gotten addicted to them in the best way, in the most healthy way. So boundaries are great. But if you have a dysregulated nervous system, it can be really, really hard and really, really scary to put up a boundary. I've experienced this in my life. Okay, so let's see. Out, we said 3, out, constant availability in boundaries. Okay, number 4, out. Ooh, this is a good one. Out, boss babe hustle culture in frequency holding. Remember, so as a mystic empath, we are natural frequency holders. And it's not, I said this at the beginning, this is not something we strive to be. So in boss babe hustle culture, for instance, which I was really involved in, okay? So I wouldn't say I got too involved in it, but I have been to many trainings, I've paid a lot of money, so I've gotten in this boss babe hustle culture. It's confused me because when I came into life coaching, I came from a place of spirituality. I came from this place of A Course in Miracles. And then I got kind of led down paths that I didn't want to go on. But anyway, so boss babe hustle culture, what it teaches you is it's about striving and it's about like picking, it's about like, so I was told like in my videos, be the person that you're striving to be who you are on your best day or something like that. Like you almost create this avatar, which it's like a superhero, and they train you to do this. So it's like you want to embody this superhero. It's something that you're striving to be. But as a mystic empath, that doesn't work for us. Our nervous systems, we will be protected against that because our nervous systems just won't do that. So frequency holding is so different, and realizing that you're a mystic empath is different because it's more of a map. It's a nervous system map. It's not who you're striving to be. It's realizing this is who you are. It's almost like remembering, oh, this is who I am. And so so we're out. Boss babe hustle culture is out. Frequency holding is in. And if you know when I'm talking about this. Okay, so number 5. Oh, this is my favorite one. I think this is my number 1 favorite one. Number 5. What is out? Leaving your comfort zone. What is in? Creating a comfort zone. Let's create a comfort zone. I watched this guy, I think it was Joel Wood, I think is his name, on Instagram. And there was a video that he made that was so funny. He's like, I think it's so cute when people are telling me, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone. He's like, I think it's so cute that they think I even have a comfort zone. So he makes me laugh, and I'm like, I totally relate to that. I think there's a book about this too. What is it? I have it, a book about creating a comfort zone. Anyway. So creating a comfort zone is in, leaving your comfort zone is out. As mystic empaths, we need a comfort zone. We need to create a life that we're comfortable in. We need a pleasant environment. We need a pretty environment. We need comfort. Okay. So no more of this. Get out of your comfort zone. I mean, I'm out of my comfort zone every day of my life. So I don't have to strive to be out of my comfort zone. What I need is to create a comfort zone. Okay, so number 6, out. Rushing to aerobics and in slow mornings. This might be like a more of a very personal one to me. You might have your own version of this, But what I've realized is slow mornings are really good for your nervous system, as long as if you're able to have them as, as many days as you're able to have them. I used to rush, and this was me personally, I don't know, in my probably late 20s and all throughout my 30s, I would go to aerobics like every day, whether it was after work or on the weekends in the morning, or when I started doing therapy and had clients like in the afternoon, evening, it would be in the morning. So I would get up and rush to aerobics. And I found it very helpful when I started doing aerobics and working out, because it helped to calm my nervous system, right? So it was helpful. But what I found was I got addicted to it. And I didn't feel worthy unless I went, so I would be there for hours and then I would feel nervous if I didn't go. I would feel like I was depending on that to calm my nervous system. I still like movement. I still like going to aerobics, but I'm not rushing out in the morning. I've realized that rushing is not good. So rushing in the morning is out. Slow mornings, as often as we can have them, are in. I talked about my Sunday morning where I just get up. I love to keep my phone off. I do this every morning where I just keep my phone off. That's part of containment too, is like, even if you do get a text message, is like waiting to respond. Sometimes that's hard because I like to respond right away, get it done. But that will help you feel contained. So like turning your phone off definitely will help you feel contained. So yes, so I wake up in the morning, no phone, get into my life with my dogs, with my husband, with my like Course in Miracles. Slow mornings are heaven. They're medicine. Like, who needs anything else? Like, if I have, it's like the new wealth, right? A slow morning. Do you want to be in Boss Babe hustle culture, or do you want a slow morning? Okay. Number 7, out. Guilt. In. True desire. Guilt is not our guidance system. Guilt is no longer our guidance system. I kind of already talked about this. We don't want to act from guilt. We might feel guilt, but we don't want that to guide us. Guilt is actually, we could use that to guide us to put up a boundary. We don't do what the guilt says. And by not acting from guilt is how we don't keep it going. I've talked about this before. Guilt is a hungry ghost. So a hungry ghost is something that is never satisfied. So when you act out of guilt, it creates just this system of never being satisfied. It creates resentment. Okay, so it'll never go away. And it's almost like an addiction. It's almost like a sugar rush or something, where you feel better at first and then you feel worse later. Okay, so like if you try to act from the guilt, it'll go away for a little bit, but then it's hooked you in. You're going to keep going. So when we stop acting from guilt, when we're contained, where our nervous systems are regulated, we're not acting from guilt, we can tune into what our true desire is. And the true desire is one with the divine. So God wants what you want, right? A Course in Miracles teaches us God wants what you want. And so when we stopped acting from guilt, when we stop that cycle, when we get contained, we can get in touch with what our true desire is. Okay, and number 8, just so I feel even, and I have an even number. Out is explanation, in is embodiment. I feel like I should just stop the video, like no explanation. So, okay, as highly sensitive people, empaths, we tend to, I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is me. I feel like we tend to over-explain. Like, I feel like an explaining gets my nervous system all revved up, because when I explain, it seems like in these videos, I'm talking to people who are like me and who would understand. But when I go out into the world and explain this to somebody who has a nervous system that's very different from mine, it sounds like the words just don't do it justice. It doesn't sound right what I'm saying. They don't understand it. So let's stop explaining. And then I'm all wrapped up and anxious because I've explained or like over-explained things. So let's stop explaining. I think I'm over-explaining right now. Let's stop explaining and let's just embody the truth. Okay? So like we don't need to over-explain why we have to leave a party or a social gathering after 3 hours. We don't need to explain it. We don't need to explain our nervous system. We don't need to explain our needs. We need to just embody who we are and just do it without explanation. Okay, I hope this was helpful today. I am not perfect in any of these categories, by the way. So these are like what I have realized that I need. Like anybody else, I think I've made all this progress and then suddenly something happens. Like I said, I had a major boundary violation at the beginning of this year. And gosh, I thought I was beyond that, so something will happen and you'll be like, oh my gosh, have I made any progress at all? Well, yes, this happens with my clients too. And I encourage them in those moments. And I encourage myself too, to notice like when something happens and you feel like you haven't made any spiritual progress or progress in therapy or whatever it is, and you feel like you're back to square one. That's never the case. You're never back to square one, right? So what's good to do in those moments is realize how you have improved. Like, what did you do differently? Even if it was something small, there is something that you did that you have improved. And I did do that. So there were ways that I have improved, but this just showed me the things that I still needed to do. So when you can name it, when you can observe it, that's all part of the healing process, right? So like that is really, once you can do that, you can heal. But you become the gentle observer and notice, like, this is an old pattern that I'm responding to right now. This is just a pattern. I'm going to choose something different. I think the next video I'm going to do is going to be the Course in Miracles lesson. Actually, for today, I'm recording this on January 31st. And the 31st lesson is, I am not a victim of the world I see. So I think that's really important too, as mystic empaths, that lesson is just so good. Okay. So when we have these things, our sensitivity becomes a superpower. So like, we don't have to like strive for this superpower, this avatar superpower, because it's already here. Our sensitivity becomes our superpower. Our sensitivity was not made to be horizontal. It was made to be vertical. So when we have containment, when we have a regulated nervous system, we do experience that. We do have the mystic experience. We do experience the divine. Okay, the sensitivity is meant to be with God. The sensitivity is meant to be within us. It's meant to be vertical. I think of like, just like little examples of this. Like one time I was walking with my husband on a nature trail, and like I could, there was a beaver on the river, and I could sense it. Like I heard it, like the bubbles of the river were a little different where we were. Something like, my husband was like, how did you hear that? He thinks I heard it, but I don't know if I heard it with my ears, if that makes sense. So like those types of experiences are just like medicine. Like that could just keep me going for weeks as a mystic empath, and then the other day, this just happened recently, right after Christmas, my husband and I were driving down the road. I love, like, there's snow outside right now. I went to pick up pizza last night, and it was just like so magical outside. The moon was almost full, it's past the full moon, but it was just like about 4, or I think it was about 5 o'clock. It was just like such a magical time. I took a picture. I'll share it. But the other day, my husband and I were driving again, and we were driving down the road, and I'm like, I think we're going to see deer. I don't know if I said, I think we're going to see deer. I think that's what I said. I think we're going to see deer. And like 7 seconds later, I swear we saw 8 deer on the side of the road, which is not a normal occurrence, around here. So things like that, that is just medicine. Those things are just magical. So life becomes really magical when we get this containment, when we have these boundaries, when we are, our finely tuned nervous system goes out into this world. And I really feel as empaths, we're here to stay whole. We're not here to save the world. We're not here to change the world, but us staying whole within the world does save and change the world. It's so beautiful. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the ins and outs of 2026 for the mystic empath, especially the mystic empath in midlife. I think my videos are going to be about this mystic empath thing. Okay, so I hope defining it, helps define my people. Okay, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm going out with some friends today. I have Prudence and Star behind me, my 2 little chihuahuas. When I see clients, this is where they sit. And so now when I made a video today, Star is my newest baby. She just went back there. I can never just end my videos. I have to show a dog or 2. So this is Star. Oh, she's heaven. She's mystic empath heaven. Okay, I hope to see you guys soon. I'll see you in the next video. Go ahead and subscribe if you want more videos like this to stick with me there in 2026. We're going to stay whole in our mystic empath path. Okay, peace and love.